Here we are at the beautiful Europa, where Blessed Pier Giorgio used to come up here for Mass and to pray. Here, the church just here is the old basilica, which houses the Black Madonna, which Pier Giorgio would go to very often. And I just wanted to read out a quote from Blessed Pope John Paul II, who also loved skiing in the mountains. As you can see in the backdrop here, these are the mountains Pier Giorgio visited frequently. And in 1989, Pope John Paul II actually visited here, and he wanted to visit Pier Giorgio's body. This was before he was beatified by John Paul, and our Pope said, "I wanted to pay homage to a young man who was able to witness to Christ with singular effectiveness in this century of ours. When I was a young man, I too felt the beneficial influence of his example, and as a student I was impressed by the force of his testimony." A year later, Blessed Pope John Paul would beatify Pier Giorgio in St. Peter's Square. And I just wanted to get the mountains on camera, just because Pier Giorgio, as we all know, loved climbing them. And there's this great quote of a letter he wrote to a friend called Marco while he was here at Poloni. And in the end of his letter, he's talking about his studies, and then at the end he sums it up by saying, "Every day I fall in love with the mountains more and more, and if my studies would allow me to do it, I would spend entire days on the mountains, contemplating in that pure air the greatness of the Creator." And I think once you're actually here looking at the mountains Pier Giorgio saw and climbed, I think for me personally, you feel like a greater, you can connect to those words a lot more, seeing that this is the mountains that he was writing about, and you can see the beauty in creation, and it's one of the most beautiful sights that I think I've seen, and it's a lovely, beautiful day with the mist is cleared away, and you can see the greatness of the Creator. Okay.
Well, this is our last few minutes here at the Santuario di Europa, and we're heading from here now down to Spoleto d'Assisi. So just as we leave, I just want to say it's been a fantastic experience, an experience that was more moving and more powerful than what I thought it could be or would possibly be. And there's things we haven't done, things we haven't seen here. It means we've got to come back again, which is a great thing. But I suppose for me it's been this, being here and then at Poloni has been the real Frassati experience. It's been the best connection we've had with Pier Giorgio the whole trip, and I just want to stay, but we can't. So we have to keep going. But it's just been a fantastic experience, and I'd really say to any of you who will be watching this and thinking about whether you'll come with us the next time we come, you must come. It's just out of this world. Blow your mind. Marias, 150 Ave Marias in place of 150 signs.
Assisi, out the front of the basilica where St. Francis' body lies. There's actually 3 stories. This is the top floor here, and there's the bottom, the second floor, and his tomb is actually on the bottom floor, but it's absolutely beautiful. I'm not sure if you can see out there, but just so green and very, very scenic. The mountain's lovely and just feels like Italy. So here we are on the end of the 5th day, and we've arrived at our new accommodation last night here at Agriturismo Bertoli, which, as you can see, is a farm stay.
So it's just like a little family up here that owns a place, and it's literally on top of a mountain, as you can see in the background here, this beautiful sunset. And we've come up here because it's just south of the Assisi, so we've sort of come to a place called Spoleto, which is south of Assisi once again, and come up this mountain to stay here for the night. And it's really beautiful, like it's really sort of homey. People are very like looks like pretty much coming to someone's home to stay with them. But anyway, today we got the opportunity to go down to Assisi, or we got to go to first Our Lady of the Angels, and it's pretty much a big basilica. And inside the basilica is the house where St. Francis of Assisi misinterpreted God's call in his life, asking him to rebuild his church, and he literally rebuilt the church where he was at. So that church is actually, that little church that he rebuilt is in the middle of this basilica. And so we went all through there, and then eventually went up to the town of Assisi, which is like a big medieval town. It's like a big castle, and a lot of it's still pretty old school up there. And I think we spent the day in there, and we went to Mass, and we got to visit St. Francis of Assisi's tomb, which was pretty special. But I think the big thing that I sort of wanted to I guess compare is that he is a saint who everyone knows. It's a world-renowned saint, St. Francis of Assisi. He's probably had one of the biggest influences on the world. You know, he started the Franciscan order, which is huge around the world. And here he is in his place. His body's up there in the tomb, and the place is huge. Like, they have their own underground car park, and everything's very, I guess, commercialised. And there's a lot of little shops and stuff selling St. Francis of Assisi things, and it's all sort of very touristy. And what we've found is that with our experience of going to Turin and visiting Blessed Pier Giorgio Frassati's body, and it being such a totally different experience, because no one knows about Blessed Pier Giorgio Frassati, and he was just as an amazing guy, and he's having such a big effect on the third millennium. And for us to be to have known him so early, and to have that opportunity to go then to visit his tomb, and to actually be able to go into his house, see all of his stuff, just as a little group, be able to pick up his things and all that sort of stuff. But when you go to somewhere like Assisi with St. Francis of Assisi, who's huge, like big time in the world of saints, and there's like it's all like a big museum. You can't sort of touch anything, and there's a lot of people around, and it's all like a big sort of tourist attraction. And I think it's just helps us to realise and appreciate how much how lucky we are to go to Blessed Pier Giorgio Frassati's house, to visit his holiday home, and to just experience that while he's not well known, because we know that he eventually will become a saint, and he will become a very influential figure in the future. So I think we've been very blessed today to come to Assisi, to see St. Francis, to see the effect he's had on the world, and hopefully we'll be able to see the same effect that Blessed Pier Giorgio Frassati will have. So we're about to go to dinner here with the family that stays here at Agroturismo, and hopefully it'll be a good meal, and we'll enjoy some Trevi fountains. God bless.